Hey there! This lesson is about inking. So we are going to ink our characters in order to apply a flat color. Here on the screen we have the reference image and the sketch of the character. What we are going to do is to reduce the opacity of the layers of the sketch. So, for the inking, I'm going to use the same pencil that I used for the sketch. I'm just going to change the opacity. The first thing we need to do is retouching the outer silhouette with a thick line. This way we'll get a kind of sticker. See? This is a particular inking style. Obviously there are more, but this is the one I'll be working with. Although we are drawing a thick line, don't forget to pay attention to the line weight. Now for the inner lines, we're going to use a slightly thinner brush. This way we'll vary the line weight of the illustration and thus we'll get a really cool and nice effect. This inking style is really common and useful for cartoons. This technique consists of drawing the secondary elements thinner and the main ones thicker. Also, the shaded areas will be represented with a thicker line than the illuminated ones. Some artists prefer inking with the same line weight or using other parameters when varying the line weight. If you are interested in it, you can do a research to get more information. When the inking step is over, we are going to ink the animal. To do so, we are going to use a quite thin line to retouch the lines that make up the sketch. Why are we going to use thin lines? Because if we want this drawing to be in a secondary plane. So if we use thicker lines, our eyes will look directly to it and thus belittle the main character. And we don't want this to happen, right? After finishing both figures, we are going to move them to another file and create a composition that fits perfectly in the canvas. Okay guys, let's do the same for the next character. So, reduce the opacity of the sketch layers. Then we're going to ink the character using a thick line. Again, remember to apply the line weight, which means that some areas will be thinner or thicker depending if the volume goes outside or inside. Remember that in this first step we are going to look for an image that resembles a sticker. Now, with a thinner line, we are going to ink the main areas, but we'll be doing this in blocks. It is the hair, the face, and so on. We are going to use thinner lines for the inner areas, like for the wrinkles, facial features, and so on. In my case, I'll try to use a top of 3 different ways of line weight. In other words, a maximum of 3 different line thickness. In your case, you can use all you want. That's up to you. It's just to tell you my working method. I recommend that you use a considerably thin line to add the smallest details to your drawing. This way you'll manage to get a good result. Now we are going to use another layer to ink the snake. Remember that we want to use a thin line for the animal as we did with the crane. When inking the animal, it's not necessary to pay much attention to the line weight because we want it to be in a secondary position. As you can see, using different thickness helps to emphasize the main elements as compared to the secondary ones. And this way we can distinguish visually which one's the important element. As we did in the previous character, we're going to move the whole composition to a new canvas. And here we have the inking of the two characters. Don't forget that you'll need to make the rest of few characters to complete the composition. In the following lesson, we'll learn to color them. So, did you like the lesson? Are you ready to ink? See you in the next one!